Hello and welcome to the Rural Juror Brewery Tour. I'm Seth. With me in spirit is Jay. Welcome to another live show. This week we are saying farewell to a beloved beer of mine. This beer, it's an interesting story. It has a lot to do with where I grew up. It's actually from Cowbell Brewery up in Blythe. A lot of my family is up in that area. And this particular beer is one of my favorites, a honey brown ale. This is probably one of my favorite types of beer ever, especially growing up. Amazing beer. It's interesting that this beer is now on its farewell tour. One of their founders series that Cowbell came out with, I believe it was about 6 beers that they originally came out with and said they were going to be all year round. There was a red, a couple of IPAs, a lager, that kind of stuff. And each can and beer was named after a local founder or someone of significance in the area. There were some that were named after funny things, like car contraptions that were built before Henry Ford, and veterinarians that had bobcats and funny stories about the bobcat in a bar and all that stuff. And this particular one is actually about a guy named George McNall who served in both World Wars, was decorated in them, and came back to live in just outside of Blythe, it says. Anyways, this beer, though, like I said, one of my favorite beers, a nice honey brown ale. It's kind of an interesting story that they're discontinuing it. It was just seasonal the last 1 or 2 years. And now they're saying this is the last run of cans. They still have cans. I just checked before we went live. And they still have some there. But they said once they're out, that's out forever. And when I got that text from Cowbell the other day saying that this is the last time, it got me thinking, why? And even when it went to seasonal, I thought, well, that's interesting. Why would a honey brown with such a delicious taste as this be being retired? And I started looking at the LCBO shelves when I was in there lately, and I started saying, how many honey browns do I see on the shelves? There's not many anymore. There used to be quite a few of them. Now it's, IPAs, obviously, lots of Kolsch's and lagers and pilsners and everything else. And then, of course, all of the craziness of the imperial stouts and the pastries things and this and that and everything else, and the biggest and the hoppiest and the chocolatiest and the most raspberryest or whatever it is. And I think in all of that excitement, I think some really good beers have maybe gone by the wayside. And this one just happened to, catch my eye and went, wow, that's kind of too bad. But if you'd like to have some of this beer, it is absolutely delicious, very nice, lots of malt, just a little bit of head, just a beautiful dark malty honey brown ale. It's classic as I think you could ever get. Such a great one. I started looking through my cellar the other day, getting ready for this, and I said, yeah, so how many of these do I have left? I usually have a 6-pack or so on my shelves, and I only had 2 left, which made me think, I need to order some before they're gone. And then I started thinking, how many of these have I had, let's say, in the last year of this particular beer? I probably only have had 4 or 5 in the last, maybe 6 in the last year. So of all of the beers that I'm drinking, I've only had 6 of these. And like I said, this is one of my favorites, my go-to. So it's interesting that even my drinking tastes have kind of changed a little bit in the last few years. So it's unfortunate, but there's still chance. Go check it out. McNall's Mission, Honey Brown Ale. Get it while you can. You won't be disappointed. It's a great beer. If you get a chance to go to the brewery, it's a beautiful spot to go past, grab a bunch of beer. They usually have a restaurant open. Who knows with all the restrictions and everything else that's going on, but beautiful food there. Nice people. Go check it out. Cowbell and Blythe. Last chance for McNall's Mission. Thanks for watching the Rural Juror Brewery Tour. Thank you. Well said. Thank you. Awesome. We'll catch you next time.